John Miggins along with Terry Weimer and Antonio Petty. Butler in the dark uniforms, top-seeded Pitt in white. And the opening tap control to the Panthers. Ashton Gibbs controls line is something that both Smith and Howard will have to deal with. Both have been in foul difficulty much of this season. And you see Brown inside the painted area with the game's first bucket. Howard trying to work pick and roll. Nice dunk, little high-low. Howard and Smith read one another so well. It's as if these guys have been together for 10 years.
Rim, not good defense, not a good switch by Pitt.
Both play with a high degree of basketball intelligence, and Gibbs comes up.
He is with the bucket. He is their most aggressive scorer.
Howard puts it on the gut, almost turned it over. Shot clock under 10. Van Zandt launches and rattles home a deuce. That was inside the arc, and we're tied at 4. One winding down, and one pistol referee on hand for that one. Plus other games you can keep an eye on as Howard comes away with the 3 ball. Boy, did you see that pick McGee set against him, which enabled Gilbert Brown to get free for that bucket. Howard from downtown.
Tim, that's the area where Butler can really put a lot of pressure on Pitt. It's much three-point shooting is much more of an arsenal, part of their arsenal than Pitt.
Carryover from last year's run to the finals. It was Lucas telling me that all throughout that run, they just kept pitching themselves as they flew from region to region, saying, "Is this really happening?" Yeah. Believe it or not, 10 brothers and sisters, 5 boys and girls.
Lewis, Mike took me over to meet the entire family. You talk about a fantastic bunch. From basketball country, as Shelvin Mack uses the glass.
Well, I'm sure the airlines are hoping that Butler advances with all of them.
Fertile basketball country and the fertile family, indeed. Nice work inside as Nasir Robinson goes to work.
Right, so far both teams' strengths have been on play here in the first.
Alley-oop for Stegall. Boy, what a pass by Mack.
Right, that's... I don't know how many alley-oops Stegall has caught in his life, but that was a nice play, a good back pick up top. Performance so far, and a miss right there.
Wanamaker out to Robinson. Good run out by Nasir Robinson.
Yeah, that's the one thing that Butler needs to concentrate on. Pitt makes it. 2-3 zone now for Pitt.
Just playing a nylon song, and the Bulldogs up 5.
And that's one way to get a team out of a zone is that shot was unguardable, unlimited range for Shelvin.
Next to Jamie Dixon. Patterson off the inbound. Trayvon Woodall, the third reinforcement to come in, is heard from the sophomore from Brooklyn.
He's very aggressive when he comes into the game, Tim, looking for his own number.
How many great players has Jamie Dixon had from the tri-state region, particularly New York, and Van Zandt continues to light it up. John Adams and all of NCAA's officiating crew.
And especially elbows that connect above the shoulder area. It's an automatic call for the referees.
Zach Hahn from downtown again. They are raining threes in D.C.
This is by Pitt, but I think that Butler has done a pretty good job of sealing off the defensive glass to this point.
Hahn. Beautiful throwdown. And many times, I think we're guilty of giving credit for what seemingly is a smart play, and it not always is when you decide to take that timeout. Mack. Boy, it's an attack from Shelvin Mack. Mack penetrating the zone, and he ran off the window.
That was 2 screens against the zone, one up top by Marshall, and then Howard sealed inside to let him get to the rim. That is a mismatch defensively.
Brown, beautiful bounce pass. Well done to Nasir Robinson.
Gilbert Brown averages just under 3 assists a game, Tim, so he's a pretty good playmaker from his position this half. Well, it's not Pitt 0 for 4 at the line.
Well,
had a couple misses earlier.
Now the first free throw made, I should have said, is to see Gibbs putting it in. It's the first made free throw.
He's missed with his left on the finish.
Pittsburgh, you smell a run with this team right now as Patterson gives it up. Gilbert Brown from downtown. Timeout Butler. A 9-0 Pitt run.
really wants to post up Van Zandt.
Oh, the iron kind to Gilbert Brown, and the senior from Harrisburg, PA, brings Pittsburgh to within one. He's got 9 points.
That's getting the ball down low.
Panthers fan base is on their feet. Shelvin Mack once again.
And that's, I mean, Lamar Patterson played that pretty well. That's just a great shooter beating you.
And he said they felt like they were really in tune with what was at stake. Tonight he walked in and said execution will be the key. And so far they've done that well, but now the lead's slipping away.
They're not the kind of team that's very comfortable down double digits. They usually control the pace of play. Mack.
I mean, he had both of the guys at the top of the zone were standing 3 feet from him, but had their hands down.
Shot clock off, they'll wait for one. Howard gives it to Van Zandt. He pops. And we've come to the intermission. Butler led by as many as 12. Pittsburgh made a run.
Opportunistic by Butler, and that's an area that Pitt has to clean up in this half.
Very rare when you look at a halftime stat sheet as Gibbs puts it in where you see Pitt with only 1 steal.
You know, Jamie Dixon told Lewis that they were a plus rebounding, but they've had 5 offensive rebounds, only 6 second chance points.
Doesn't stop for Shelvin Mack.
Jamie Dixon's just got to be shaking his head right now. But what do I have to do to put this guy, put the fire out? 5 of 8 from 3.
Gilbert Brown answers for Pitt. And I loved Coach Pitino's demeanor earlier today in our Studio 43 at CBS in New York, the way he handled defeat. You see Wanamaker inside.
So tough in the paint area.
Robinson softly down with the left hand, and it's 41-39. A 7-0 run. Wanamaker, great look down low. Beautifully done inside to Nasir Robinson. We're tied at 41. Catch up with him.
Tim, I'm looking at Matt Howard out there in the last couple of minutes, and he looks really tired, and it was really evident on that shot from the 3 that came up short.
Wanamaker comes back the other way to give Pitt the lead by 2. First half. Van Zandt off the bounce. He cans it, and we're tied.
Yeah, somebody else is going to have to step up. They're going to zero in on Shelvin Mack.
10 points, and maybe Van Zandt is the answer. Brown.
Well, he's on fire from 3, but I don't understand. He's got a shorter cover on him.
Mack in traffic, gives it up to Howard, wide open for 3.
Yeah, much better, had his legs underneath him that time.
Mack over Patterson. Shelvin Mack's attack will not stop. 48-46. Either one of these 2 teams, and both of them have been very effective from an offensive standpoint. Woodall. Trayvon Woodall. Sophomore from St. Anthony's in Brooklyn. Robinson.
Good no call with the screen up top, a screen roll.
G-Man touchdown.
Not an empty seat here, Tim. This is a great basketball crowd.
Howard, not there. What work by Marshall against the tall trees. Kyle Marshall brings Butler to within 1. See how Wanamaker just sticks his nose in there and penetrates, whether you like it or not, leading to that hoop. A little floater for Brown. Stevens calls him his workhorse. Let's see if he does it again. Right on cue. The workhorse ties it at 57.
They got the switch, and McGee was really reluctant to come out and get a hand up.
Surprisingly, Shelvin Mack's got it. Got his man airborne. Shelvin Mack.
Well, it was just that pump fake, and up they got the long cover, and Gilbert Brown on him.
What a performance by Mack. And he's really the kind of guard you would expect Jamie Dixon to have on his team. Here goes reversal.
I tell you, that's a tough cover for Gary McGee.
So this bracket looks like a runaway for Pittsburgh. They weren't thinking about how good Butler had become when they said that. Wanamaker in traffic. And there's the putback by Nasir Robinson. Marshall has played so well that Stevens has decided from a matchup standpoint to go with him rather than Andrew Smith.
Well, but it's not a big Pitt team.
Gilbert Brown answers from downtown.
But that guy's been big in this game.
Wanamaker in traffic to McGee. And a foul. What a dish by Wanamaker. Get it inside and shake that Wanamaker. Inside, what a pass that was. Wanamaker trying to work pick and roll. Good show by Butler. The pass inside Robinson Gibbs. That will not count. That will not count. Shot clock violation. So Butler with a chance to win it. Mack will trigger in the inbounds pass. To Van Zandt. He drives. Right to Smith. He got it! Andrew Smith. The super sub. Van Zandt did it with the dribble drive again. There's a foul with .9 left. Brad Stevens can't believe it.
Oh, my goodness.
For the Sweet 16.
To me, that's always the important one.
No timeouts remaining for Butler. I don't know that I've ever seen a game end like this in the NCAA tournament. I've been doing this for 16 straight years. Missed it! Rebound Howard! Did we have a foul? I think we may have had a foul.
Oh, my goodness.
I think McGee fouled him.
Again?
Yes! Winning the double bonus, so too. And it is then only fair for those Howard ladies to have another opportunity to jump for joy with their brother at the free throw line. And the anguish on the other end for Pittsburgh is the range of emotions here, Mike, is unlike anything I've ever witnessed. Twice in 2 games, Matt Howard has had a chance to win it. He converted and purposely missed that one. Game over. That one almost went in. Did you see how close that came to going in? It would not have counted, but it almost went in.